That's basically saying I can come off the street with no political experience and run for president. Yeah, that's what he did. Make America great again. What are you referring to? When it was back in slavery time? That's when it was great. Is that what you're saying? Welcome back to another edition of the Burnout with yours truly. We're gonna do something a little different today. I normally stay away from politics because there's so much garbage and corruption in it. But this is going to be one of these times I'm not going to do it. But before I get into that, I want to go ahead and do the quote of the day. It says, if your absence doesn't bother them, then your presence never meant anything to them. And that's a funny thing. If your absence does not bother them at all, that means your presence was irrelevant at that point. Okay, we're going to go ahead and dive right into this. And like I say, I don't operate in nothing but facts. I don't do fiction. I don't do what I think a person is saying. I don't do what I think they mean. I don't do what I think they mean. I'm only going to state facts today, which that's all we do on the show. We always state facts. The reason I'm going into politics today is because I'm so sick of all y'all Trump supporters calling Kamala Harris a liar, that she's this, she's not this, she's not that. Have y'all looked at your candidate? Trump does nothing but lie on a consistent basis. And he lies about everything from funding the HBCUs, which you can look this up, tried to cut HBCUs out in 2018, 2019, cut them out of his proposal. And then he come back and say he saved them. The proposal was the HBCUs got funding under the Barack Obama administration. Trump did everything he could to take it out. Now let me get in this. Let me go here real quick. I'm surprised. Well, before I say that, and then they say Kamala Harris done flip flop. Okay, she did. That's how it goes. They changed their ideology. They changed the way they look at things. Okay, that's fine. But let me talk about your candidate and Donald Trump, and I'm gonna talk about y'all, you who support Trump, and then I'm gonna get on the black people who support Trump. Then I'm gonna get on that too. But let me tell you about your candidate. Your candidate doesn't care about y'all because he said that. He also said he loves the poorly educated because he said they are the most loyalties. No, he loves the poorly educated because y'all are the easiest one to manipulate. This is what really pisses me off with your Trump supporters. This dude is incompetent. He just rambles on about foolishness and y'all buy into it. He says in the debate that the Haitian was eating cats and dogs and had no proof of this up in Ohio, Springfield, Ohio, if I'm not mistaken. Had no proof of this because some crazy ass woman said her cat was missing and blamed her neighbor. And then come to find out her cat was in the basement the whole time. So now she had to come back and apologize to the Haitian community. But then Trump and this Van Doofus he got as a running mate took that and ran with it. This is how he operates. He operates in buffoonery and foolishness. The dude is a narcissist, he's a misogynist, he's egotistical, and he is a racist. Now, just in case your Trump supporters don't know what a narcissist is or a misogynist is, let me tell you, a narcissist is somebody who really values himself more than anybody else. He's really high on himself. Misogynist, he shows misogyny activity because he's a misogynist because he has an issue with women, especially African American women. Really have a big issue with it. I don't know if I have to explain what a racist is, but I assume y'all know what that is. This is the thing, and I'm finna piss a lot of people off, and I don't really care. This is the problem I have with y'all Trump supporters. Y'all willing to look over all this foolishness he says. If that was a black man who said the exact same thing, you would have a problem with it. you'll want him kicked out. He shouldn't be eligible to run. This man got 34 felony conviction, felony things against him, and you allow him to run. If I get one against me, I can't even hold a government job. So how the hell does the rules bend for this guy? Y'all got proof on TV, on recordings, that he said the dumbest things in the world, and y'all still support him. Let me get on some of the things that he said. He said he's helped the black community more than any other president. That's a lie. He has not come up with his administration, him or his administration has not come up with one proposal that benefits the black community. So I don't know where to get that lie from. Number two, he says he's not a racist, but they have videotape where he was in conference that he called black people the N-word. Y'all can go and Google anything I'm saying. You're more than happy to Google it up. But you don't want to Google, you want to rely on Fox News, who pushes his propaganda and his buffoonery and his foolishness. Now let me go on and tell you about his supporters right now. Any man that say, I like the poorly educated, and you support him, you fall into that category. You are poorly educated because he's seen that I can manipulate you just as easy as I can manipulate anybody else. Let me also tell you something. Let me tell you something about this. I love when people tell me I'm not a racist, but you support a racist. You know, how does that work? You're not a Klan. You're not part of the Klan, but you're at the meetings. Now, if I support a racist person, I like his ideology, I like what he stands for. Don't come with this, he's a good businessman, because he's not a good businessman. Ain't nothing about him good. He done filed bankruptcy multiple times. You had a start that most people didn't have because your daddy gave you millions of dollars and you still screwed it up. He liked to grab women in the pussies, he said. Y'all ignored it. What is that saying about y'all? Once again, any other black man would have said the same thing. It would have been an outroar. But y'all ignore it because you like his racist ideas. So you can't tell me that I'm not a racist, but I support him, who is a racist, who's a narcissist, who's a misogynist. He's really demonstrating a misogynist. But you don't have all those qualities. How can you support a person who has those qualities and you don't? If you don't have those qualities, you don't support him. He done said things in the past about African American people, but he's not a racist. Well, in New York, he would not rent his apartments to minorities. What is that? The New York Five, who was exonerated from the murder charges that they were put against him, he put out a full-page ad trying to execute him. In Charlottesville, when those white supremacists were down there with tiki torches, saying Jews must go, and he had a nerve to come out and say that was good people on both sides. What's good about white supremacy? What's good about a group, basically they're a Klan member? What is good about that? Not only in the debate when Harris said, you invited ISIS to the military facility. Who does that? Now, this is this patriotic person that y'all support. And everything I'm saying can be fact-checked, so you're more than happy to go and fact-check. This is my thing. How stupid are y'all? You are willing to support a person who is trying to cut out benefits that you need. Now, the only conclusion I can come up with is that I got two conclusions. Y'all don't want a woman in the White House, and you definitely don't want a black woman in the White House as a president. How do y'all women, I'm curious about this, how do y'all women tell your daughter you can be anything, but then when it comes to president, you put a restriction on it where we don't want you to be there? then you're talking out of both sides of your mouth. Kamala Harris is more qualified. She speaks more elegant. Her conversation is mostly about the everyday people. I did something. I wanted to watch one of his rallies and see what he says. Y'all a bunch of fools there. Because he doesn't talk about anything that can help y'all. See, that's what puzzles me. In his rallies, he never talk about anything that benefits y'all, but y'all sitting up there hooping and hollering and we support Trump. And then you got these food blacks for Trump. Y'all are the true fools. Omarosa, you are a jackass. I don't know what else to say. And we got some black men in Congress. Tim Scott comes to mind. That you support this dude for some godforsaken reason, and you in one of the poorest states that is. He's not did anything to help your state out. See, let me tell you. Everybody want to make this out of black and white. No, I'm making it out of dumbass Trump supporters. That's what I'm making this out of. I'm not making it out of black and white. You had white people right now that say I could not vote for him because I can't stand what he stands for. But then y'all sit there and vote for him knowing what he stands for, knowing he's against women, knowing he talks about women like a dog, talks about minorities, talk about Haitians. He constantly bringing immigrants up. That's his whole argument. Do you know why that's his argument? Because that's how y'all feel. Then you'll get on Facebook, you'll get on Instagram, and then you'll say, Harris is a liar. Have you heard your candidate lately? Have you heard some of the shit he says? He talks about foolishness. Windmills cause cancer. Inject Clorox in you to get rid of the COVID-19. And it has some people to die because of that. He said bleach. Let me get a credit for one of y'all yahoos. Come back and then try to contradict something. He said put bleach in your skin. Y'all are some of the craziest people I've ever seen. If bleach would eat through clothes, what do you think it'll do to your organs? Yeah. Just because he said it, y'all was dumb enough to do it. But he did say, I love the poorly educated, and that demonstrates every single time with the buffoonery y'all do. Then we go to his policies, which nobody knows because he hasn't. And what he said about the health, he's been trying to get rid of Obamacare. Well, I have a concept. You have nothing. You trying to get rid of something that you can't replace, that millions and millions of people need. You have a concept of it. What does that mean? It's either do you have a plan for it and do you not have a plan for it. He has no idea how to be president. And Mark Cuban has come out and said he has no idea. He's incompetent. More and more people have come out and said how crazy this fool is. But y'all are willing to vote for him because you don't want a black woman in office. Y'all don't give a dog about her policies. You just don't want to in. So you willing to make up bullshit about her background. Let's talk about Trump's background. He started a bogus college in New York, found out that it was bogus, and he got sued and lost. He is not allowed to do business in New York anymore because of this foolishness. He's promised y'all numerous things, and he's not done anything. He uses this racist rhetoric because that's what his base like. And if you know his base is racist, but you still supporting him, but you're saying you're not a racist. Well, that's kind of hard for me to believe that you support somebody who demonstrates that I am a full-blooded racist, but you're not. How do you support somebody that doesn't have your same ideology? You don't. You support them because you think just like them. Then they say, well, slaves, this, slave, that. The slave owners did. The slave owners slept with black women. Does that mean they weren't racist? Interesting. You know, the old saying is, make America great again. What are you referring to? When it was back in slavery time? That's when it was great. Is that what you're saying? It was great before he became president. He's a clown. And all y'all who support him are clowns too. The lack of intelligence on your behalf. Let me phrase that. It's two things. You're a clown or you're an undercover racist. You hang around black people all day, shaking their hands, buddies, and then when you go behind closed doors or you get behind your keyboard, you express who you really are in great fashion. But you put on this persona that I'm not this, I'm not that, but you vote for somebody who's all of those. That doesn't make any sense. That you say you're not a racist, you're not a narcissist, you're not a misogynist, you're not any of these things I just named, but you vote and support a person who is. Who in their right mind does that? Your hate over this black woman is greater than your common sense over this buffoon. That's what it tells me. Because I hear and work around people who are Trump supporters every day. I work around people who are not Trump supporters every day. You can put on a front for so long, then people begin to see through that front. Oh no, I'm for women's rights. I'm for women doing this. I'm for women making their own choices. But then you vote for a person who's saying a woman shouldn't make their own choices. They should be allowed to have an abortion if they was raped or at a young age. They shouldn't be. And then, if you didn't watch the debate, I had the pleasure of actually watching it. The dude, Trump, is the dumbest person I've ever seen. He said that you can have an abortion after the child is born. That's not an abortion. That's murder. I have no idea what this fool and idiot was talking about. Then, when Kamala Harris was making points about this and that, he always wanted to go back to Joe Biden. I like what she said. She said, you're not running against Joe Biden, you're running against me. He wanted to run against Joe Biden. He felt like Joe Biden was an easier target. He didn't want to go against a woman, a black woman who's educated, because he doesn't know how to attack her. A prosecutor. A prosecutor does nothing but debate, and a debate is basically an argument. Trump doesn't have the intellectual fortitude to debate anybody. If you watch his mannerism up there, he wouldn't answer the simplest questions. He's more worried about what color she says she is, which 90% of y'all Trump supporters will not vote for her because she's African American. I'm just gonna say it just like it is. That's fact. They've interviewed numerous amount of Trump supporters, and you don't have nothing against her, but well, she trying to take our guns away. She trying to do this. She trying to do that. This is all y'all have. This is all y'all have. Y'all have nothing else to come with. You don't know how intellectually challenged Donald Trump is. And I'm just surprised that some of the black people that support him, I'm more like, how much are they paying you to make a fool out of yourself? Because, and some of y'all black people want to support him because you saying, look at me, I'm a Trump supporter, I'm black, I stand out. No, you a standout fool, what you is. You don't know how. Do you think they're going to accept you on the other side? Do you really think that? You're a bigger fool than I could ever imagine, if that's what you think. Look here. Trump is a liar. He just got found guilty in the Stormy Daniels situation, but y'all ignored all that. He gave you a bogus tax cut, but he gave the rich people the 1% to 2% permanent tax cut. Gave you one that only lasted about 6 months, and you think he did something to you. He's trying. This is fact. Trump is trying to stay out of prison. That's it. That's the only reason he's really running. He's not running for anything else because he don't have anything to stand on. If you listen to his rallies, like Kamala Harris said, just listen to his rallies. He has no idea. He has nothing. He has not proposed one thing that's going to help the people that's sitting behind him looking like fools. He's not proposed one thing that'll help you. He hasn't said anything about the housing market. You know what he's done? He's tried to point fingers and say, well, the housing market is down because of this. No. People can't afford the housing market. They can't afford to get a house because they pay it so low. The Republicans that stand behind them didn't want to raise the minimum wage. The Republicans in 2019, 2018 did a 35-day shutdown because he was hell-bent on not coming with a plan that's going to help both sides, a bipartisan plan. That's what he's done. And like I say, fact check me all you want. You're dying to yahoos because that's all you're going to do is try to figure out something and I said was wrong. And then you try to come back and do it. Well, go ahead and try to fact check me. All my facts are legit. You can Google everything I said, from the poorly educated comment to he didn't let minorities rent his apartments to he don't want black people dealing with his finances. Well, you need to have somebody dealing with them because evidently you're not doing anything with them. You can't file bankruptcy that many times and then say he's a good businessman. How does that work? That you file bankruptcy so many times and then you say he's good at running the country. How? He can't get his own affairs together. And you think he can get the country affairs together. But this is the level of intellect that most Trump supporters have. And then they say, well, most people who vote for him are the rich people because he's going to get them a tax cut. But the rich people don't care about the people in the middle class who helps them make their money. I listen to people every day try to convince me that Trump is such a good candidate. He's not served one day in the Senate, House of Representatives, any parts of government from a mayor, makes no difference. He's not served any part in the government. He just basically saying I can come off the street with no political experience and run for president. Yeah, that's what he did. Then I know when he won the first time, they said, well, he's good. He's not a politician. So I'm gonna take my car to somebody who's not a mechanic and let them work on it and say, well, he's a good mechanic. No, you take your car to somebody who's good at being a mechanic, who's got experience, who's a licensed mechanic. You do not take your car to be worked on with somebody who doesn't have a clue how the damn car works. So y'all gave the keys of the country to somebody who had no clue how the car works. And then this is what happened. Y'all are so deep in, you can't back up. You are forced to support this buffoon because you don't want to admit you're wrong. That's why y'all doing it. There's no other reason you're doing it. You're doing it just specifically because you're so far in that you made such a big fuss about he's right. You found out he was wrong, and now you don't want to admit that you are wrong. So you're willing to go down with the ship, make excuses of how he can, well, he's good for the country. How? You are friends with a dictator in Russia and Putin. If a black man would have said the exact same thing, can you imagine if Obama would have said, me and Putin are friends, y'all want him to kick out the White House? But this clown has told you that he's friends with this dictator. One in China too. But y'all are willing to look over that. It's mighty funny. Y'all willing to look over a lot of stuff. But you're willing to point out Kamala Harris is a liar. When are y'all Trump supporters going to get on Facebook, get on Instagram, get on YouTube, get on Twitter and say Trump is a liar? You won't admit that your own candidate is a liar, but you trying to pinpoint the finger at some. Look, this is what I say. Clean up your own candidate first. Your candidate has no business in there. But y'all are so hell-bent on not letting a black woman in there, you're willing to vote for this fool over here and say, well, we're proud that he's our candidate. We're proud of this. All he does is talk about people because he doesn't have the political, intellectual skills to go with somebody who's smart one-on-one. Then he acts so childish. He's so immature. They treated me so wrong. They didn't say how. Who does that? That's a freaking kid. The dude got a 10-year-old mind. And I might need to apologize to the 10-year-old because the 10-year-old might be smarter than he is. See, I'm saying what everybody wants to say, but nobody will say. I cannot vote for a candidate, whether they Democrat or Republican. I don't care which one it is. I will not vote for either one that speaks like him. If Kamala Harris would speak like this doofus, I would not have my support with him either. I would not have my support with her. I cannot support anybody who doesn't have my best interest at hand. And all politicians lie. This is no news. What I'm surprised of is how so much support goes to this buffoon, even though you know he is a racist. He does not have your best interest in mind. He does not try to. In 2016, he said he would bring manufacturing back. Not one plant would close. That's what he said. Now, Trump said it. Now, you can go back to 2016 and you can look all this up. He said he would not bring back, he said he would. He said he would bring back manufacturing, and he said not one plant would close. That's what he said. Well, guess what? 5 plants closed. Warren, Michigan, Oshawa, Ontario, Detroit, Michigan, Warren, Ohio, White Marsh, Maryland. So he told a lie then. But y'all look over those lies. Those don't mean that. He also said, and it said 2017 he supported rights to work law. And as you know, is an anti-union labor law that undercuts workers' wages and benefits. This is what he supported. 2017. You can go back and Google that if you like. I've done the work for you, so you don't have to. I gave you the teacher edition, so you really don't even have to read the question. I'm telling you exactly what he said, word for word. I wrote this down to make sure I went. He also refused to support auto workers strike in 2019. He said their wages was too high. That's what he said. He claimed to support union workers and union workers as a non-union plant in Southfield, Michigan. He did not. Surprise, surprise. So, I'm trying to figure out what are y'all supporting at this point? I'm just mind boggled that this is the food y'all got that y'all won't run the country. And everything I just said is fact check. You can go back and fact check it if you like. I'll read it again just in case you didn't understand. In 2016, he said he would bring manufacturing back. And he said in 2016, he said he would bring manufacturing back, and not one plant was closed, 5 plants closed. 2017, he said he supported rights to work law. And as it is an anti-union labor law that undercuts workers' wages and benefits, of course he would vote for that. And he would support that. And he refused to support auto worker strike in 2019, said their wages was too high. He claims to support work unions, but he just does the opposite. He does not support union workers because of that a non-union plant in South Florida. See, he says things so fast and so slick, y'all don't get it. He said he support union workers, but he went to a factory that was non-union. Then how is that supporting union workers when you go to a factory that is non-union? You know, I done got to the point now, I don't blame Trump. Trump is who he is. We all know who he is, so you can't blame him first. You don't blame a snake because it bit you. That's what a snake does. You know who I blame? I blame the supporters. Because y'all are the fools. He's showing you who he is. He has not wavered one bit on what he is, who he is, and how he is. And I don't give a dog if you black, white, purple, green, blue, I don't care what color you are. If you support a man that says he basically wants to be a dictator, he wants to be the last president, and you support this man, you support this man who says Putin is a friend, which Putin has never been our allies. Never been an ally. You support a man who made it perfectly clear that he has no desire to rent his apartments to African Americans. This is who you support. You also support a man who says he should determine, and the Republicans all love to do this, what a woman should do with their body. You should also support a narcissist who cares more about himself, his ego, his personal vendettas, which he's got a lot of them, than he cares about doing anything for the average person. You also support a man who made it perfectly clear that a black person or immigrant or whatever you want to say cannot do his taxes or financial arrangement. Anything dealing with finance, he's not going to do. This is who you support. You also support a person who makes up lies on a consistent basis that can be proven. How dumb do you have to be to say something, and then when you get caught in it, say you didn't say it when they got video proof? Sometimes you no longer can blame the dog for biting you in his yard. At some point, you blame the people that keep coming across when you see the beware dog sign. That's who you blame now. Trump supporters, I don't really know what to think about y'all. Because whether you black or white, y'all are crazy. Y'all are really crazy. Even the insurrection that happened on January the 6th, he denied having anything to do with that, but he told y'all fools that went up there to do it. Now some of y'all locked up in prison for going against somebody. And you know what he said? He'll meet you there. He wasn't nowhere around. Didn't even come down there. What he did, he got y'all dumbasses to get riled up and go down there, and then he left y'all. Then he's saying, well, I don't know what I was doing. If you're a grown-ass person, how do you let another grown man manipulate you? Whether it's woman, man, black, white. You're supposed to have enough common sense to know wrong from right. I really have no clue what y'all think about. I'm just going to be honest. I have no clue what y'all think about. I'm the type of person that if the Republican candidate has something to offer and spoke in a way, in such an elegant way, that you're going to help the middle class, I'm all for you. I don't care if you're Republican or Democrat, I'll vote for you because I'm doing this because this helps the middle class in its totality. It doesn't help one specific group, like the 1 to 2% that he's helping. He only cares about himself. He makes that perfectly clear. He doesn't care about anybody but himself. But y'all still vote for him. You know, at some point, like I said, you don't blame the dog for biting. You blame the people that keep walking across the yard. I'm not blaming Trump for anything because Trump is who he is. He shows you he don't care about you, me, or anybody else. He cares about himself. His agenda is to stay out of prison. That's his agenda. And he's going to manipulate a bunch of y'all because y'all hatred, y'all prejudice is fueling, when he talks, it's fueling you. We see it on TV. He's emboldening a lot of these buffoons and you get your ass whooped. If you want to be a Trump supporter, that's your business. You can vote for whoever you want to vote for. I have no problem there. But don't complain when stuff goes backwards because you made that conscious decision to vote for an idiot that has no business in there. Those who don't vote, those who say your vote don't count, you might well vote for him because you are contributing to his campaign. These black and white people have struggled mightily time and time again. They fought for the right to vote just to give you the right to vote, and you would not use it. If you don't vote, you can't have a conversation with me because I care less about what you talking about, just to be honest. Sometimes we just get carried away with a lot of politics, but when the answer is so obvious and you refuse to accept what you see and hear, then his statement reigns true. He loves the poorly educated because y'all are the easiest one to be manipulated. Bottom line. I can't say it no better. I can't say it no greater. And most of y'all people, white or black, because you got some black stupid ass people too, that don't want Kamala Harris because you don't think a woman can run the country. You think that she's soft. So we want Trump, who's incompetent, to run it. Can't see how that would go wrong. And then he tells you all these stupid ideas, and y'all believe it. If the average black man was running for president and he said 20% of what Trump said, y'all would be in an uproar. But since he's white, he has your agenda. You like how he thinks because you think the same way. You have no issue with it. And then you're the first one to holler, I'm not a racist, but you support one. I can't believe that. I'm sorry. If you support a racist, you are a racist. If you support a narcissist, you are a narcissist. If you support a misogynist, you are a misogynist. If you support somebody with an ego, you're an ego. You have an ego. You are going to be attracted to people with your exact traits. I'm not going to a meeting that's anti-white if I don't like what they're saying there. I'm not going to show up to a Klans meeting if I don't like what they're talking about. If I don't like that. I'm not going to show up to things that I don't believe in. I'm not going to support a person that I don't believe his ideology. I'm not going to support a person that I have a problem with some of the things he says. Then y'all try to justify it. Well, you know, he meant this. No. I'm not a psychic. I can't get into his corrupt mind. I'm going to only go by what he says. I'm not going to go by intent. I'm not going to go by what I think. I'm only going to go by what he says because he's been saying it his whole life. And you can sit here and tell me you're not a racist. I like his policies. How do you like something that you don't even know he has yet because he's not revealed any of it? I like the way he talk. You like the way he talk because he talks like you talk. I like the way he moves because you move the same way. I don't want a black woman in office. I I don't believe she's capable enough, intellectual enough to run the country. But you think he is? Have y'all heard some of the stuff this clown has said? And this is who you support? For me to get in the way. Hey, that's all the time we got for today. Once again, this is a subject I try to stay away from most, but I'm sick of the Kamala Harris insult. I'm sick of the trying to discredit her when you got a candidate that's 100 times worse than she is. But y'all are willing to overlook that. But anyway, that's all we got for today on the burnout. Hey, don't remember, if you want to comment on it, hit that like and subscribe button. Hey, we'll come back. We'll be back next week, same time, same place. We don't run, we don't hide. We tell the truth and we step to the side. Hey, we'll see you next week. I give you the 2 fingers peace. And always remember, always flame up, but never burn out.